Good evening, everybody. We're so glad you are with us. We'll start in just a few moments, but excited to have you all here tonight. I hope you have a glass of wine or finishing your dinner or an after dinner drink, but we're in for a treat. So we'll get started in just a few moments, but really excited for you to be here. So we'll wait 1 or 2 more minutes for people to join us. Good evening. It was nice seeing some of you on the Hanukkah drive-through this morning, which seems a long time ago. So good evening, everybody. Erev Tov. Welcome to Broadway Bible. Thrilled to have you all here, but even more thrilled to welcome my mentor and my rabbi, Rabbi Debbie Zecher. I don't know, many of you know that I, before coming to Temple Emanu-El, when I was in rabbinical school, I had the honor of being an intern up in the Berkshires and Rabbi Zecher was the longtime rabbi there, and I got to be a part of all of her beautiful and creative worship and Jewish living in the Berkshires. I was only there in like fall to spring. I missed the summer, but it was still a vibrant Jewish community. And so I knew that I had to bring Rabbi Debbie Zecher to our congregation, a congregation that loves music, that I know many of you go to Broadway, and we're missing that at this occasion as well. But so the best thing is to bring Rabbi Zecher here to share with us today. So glad that she is here. She has a great soul. I know some of you might know her as well, but I'm going to turn it over to you, Rabbi Zecher, for a wonderful evening tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, and the chat box is open, so if you have any questions, you can always just put a chat in there as well.
All right, so we're all in this brave new world where we're all in our little boxes, and I've got my this and my that and whatever, all my various pieces of equipment, and hopefully everything is going to come together and we're going to have a good time. So here we go. Something familiar, something peculiar, something Meshuggah in store for you tonight. Something religious, you should forgive us. Something you've never seen performed for you tonight. God wrote the book, Broadway the songs, put them together, what could go wrong? Something that's newish, something that's Jewish, something that's certain to delight. The Bible goes to Broadway tonight. Nothing is missing, nothing's forbidden. Gershwin was Jewish, he wrote Broadway songs at night. Aaron and Moses, no one supposes, schlepping in the desert, they sang Broadway songs at night. This song is swell, we'll make you quell, stories and songs we all know so well. Something that's newish, something that's Jewish, something that's certain to delight. The Bible goes to Broadway tonight. Thank you so much. So funny to all this whatever. I'm so glad to be here. I love this congregation, and I feel like in a number of ways my life has been woven into the history and life of this congregation. Certainly to be here, to have a box right next to Rabbi Prosnit is very thrilling because I love him dearly, and he's part of a family that has been part of my life for a very long time. And as some of you may remember, My mentor, Rabbi Jack Stern, was a rabbi at Temple Emanu-El, so that's the first connection. And then Rabbi Kroloff has been just a wonderful presence in my life, and I'm so grateful to be here in his Medina as well. So I've got lots of connections, and also let me not forget to mention Cantor Novick, who was a classmate at the Hebrew Union College. So a tapestry that's very meaningful to me. So about 25 years ago, a congregation contacted me and asked me to give a lecture. And for some reason, I don't know why, I asked whether it would be okay for me to sing a program instead. And I to this day, I don't know what chutzpah possessed me to do that. And then, of course, once they said, yeah, sure, I had to think of something. So I thought about what are two of my greatest passions. Well, one of the passions is Torah, loving text. And the other passion is musical theater. I know that Rabbi Prosnit said that a lot of you are accustomed to going to see Broadway shows, and we miss Broadway so terribly. And I certainly join you in that. Well, I decided, is there a way to combine those two loves, Torah and musical theater? At first it seemed ridiculous, but then as I thought about it, it wasn't as odd as I thought, because Torah is a kind of sacred drama. You know, we have these beautiful narratives, these exciting narratives that tell our stories. And of course, musical theater is simply a play with music. So why not combine them? And I must admit to you that the inspiration for doing that, for putting them together, was none other than Sister Act. Do you remember that movie, Whoopi Goldberg? Yeah, you know, she goes to a convent where she's hiding out because she's a cabaret singer, a woman after my own heart. And she gets those nuns to sing contemporary songs, but with a religious spin. So why not Broadway songs instead of pop songs? So that's what I decided to do. All of the stories are either Torah texts or actual midrashim, or maybe fractured midrashim that I've kind of tweaked a little. All the songs are from Broadway shows. Now, ordinarily, if we were face to face, I would say, please sing along. And I'm going to say the same thing. You're in your homes. If you'd like to sing along, please do. One caveat, what you will not hear is any show that deals with a Jewish subject. So no Fiddler, no Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, no 2x2, Richard Rodgers show about Noah. These I put together in my own crazy way. So if it helps to imagine the entire Torah or the entire Bible as a musical, that might help. Here we go. Chapter 1, Adam and who? Most people think that Eve was the first person to live on the earth, but that's not so. In the first chapter of Genesis, we learn that man and woman were created at the same time. The man God created was Adam, but the woman was not Eve. The name of that first woman was Lilith. Man and woman created together. That meant partners, equals. Well, that suited Lilith quite well, but for some reason, Adam didn't take to that equality stuff quite so easily. He kept trying to boss Lilith around, ordering her to dust the trees or bring him a plate of figs. Finally, Lilith had had enough. Enough of the garden and enough of that pain in the neck, Adam. I've had it with this scene, she muttered to herself. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair and send him on his way. Get the picture? I'm gonna wave that man right out of my arms. I'm gonna wave that man right out of my arms. I'm gonna wave that man right out of my arms and send him on his way. Don't try to patch it up, tear it up, wash him out, dry him out, push him out, fly him out, cancel him, and let him go. Yeah, sister, I'm separate beams. Waste no time, make a change. Ride that man right up your range. Rub him out of the roll call and drum him out of your dreams. Oh, if you have the different colors, if you root for different teams, waste no time, weep no more. Show him what the door is for. Rub him out of the roll call and drum him out of your dreams. You can't light a fire when the wood's all wet. You can't make a butterfly strong. You can't fix an egg when it ain't quite good. And you can't fix a man when he's wrong. You can't put back a petal when it falls from a flower, or sweeten up a feller when he starts turning sour. Oh no, oh no. I went and washed that man right out of my hair. I went and washed that man right out of my hair. I went and washed that man right out of my hair and sent him on his way. Chapter 2. Rain, rain everywhere. Several generations later, the earth has descended into a pretty bad state. Corruption and lawlessness everywhere. Human beings created in the image of God, that image has been badly tarnished. God decides it's time to start again. Wipe the slate clean and begin all over. Only one man will survive the flood that will cover the earth. Noah, the righteous man of his generation. God instructs Noah to build an ark and place within it every animal on earth. Elephants, lions, tigers and bears, rabbits, grasshoppers, mosquitoes even. In they go. The rains begin and soon the earth is covered with water. 40 days and 40 nights, Noah and his family and all those animals ride out the storm. As big as the ark is, and it was humongous, just imagine what it must have been like to be cooped up in an ark, in a closed space for 40 days with all those animals. Fragrant, I suspect. One day, Noah's wife goes, she can't find Noah anywhere. Notice she has no name. Of course, that's another show. Anyway, in desperation, she goes up on the deck, and there she finds her husband dancing around in the pouring rain. She thinks he's finally lost it. He's gone mad, but he is just grateful for a few minutes respite from caring for all those animals. What's going on? She asks. Noah turns to her with a smile. Simple, he replies. I'm just singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain and singing, just singing in the rain. Thank you. All right. Well, chapter 3. Who said anything about estrogen? Many generations later, Abraham emerges on the scene as the one who discovers God's unique presence in the universe. They make a pact. a covenant that changes history for all of Abraham's descendants. There's only one problem. Abraham has no descendants because he and his wife have been unable to have a child. Abraham and Sarah are soon visited by three guys who turn out to be no ordinary travelers, but angels. And their mission? To tell Abraham that a year hence, he and Sarah will become parents. Sarah for the very first time. This is pretty extraordinary news. Sarah is 90 years old, and as far as she's concerned, her biological clock had stopped ticking eons ago. Imagine her surprise 9 months later when labor begins. "Oh my God," she exclaims. "Something's coming." Could be, who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. Make them cannonball and down through the sky, gleaming its eye, bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle due, gonna come true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wake up, then I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, tonal jingle, door will knock. Open the condens, don't know when, but it soon catch the moon, one-handed catch. Around a corner, or whistling down the river. Come on, deliver to me. Will it be? Yes, it will. Maybe just by holding still, it'll be there. Come on, something, come on in. Don't be shy, meet a guy, pull up a chair. The air is our man, and something great is coming. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach, under a tree. I can promise you that you will never, ever see West Side Story and hear that song and not think of Sarah. I can promise you. I can also promise you that Stephen Sondheim was never, ever meant to be sung to a track. Okay, all right. Chapter 4. This place just ain't big enough for the both of us. The child born to Sarah in her later years, shall we say, is her firstborn, but it's not Abraham's firstborn child. When it seemed as though Sarah would never have a child, she suggested that Abraham have a child with Hagar, the Egyptian princess who had chosen to accompany Abraham and Sarah after an infamous encounter with Pharaoh. Hagar gives birth to Ishmael, and everything seems fine until Isaac is born. Seems there wasn't enough room in the camp for the both of them. Sarah insists that Hagar be sent away from the community so that her son Isaac will be clearly perceived as Abraham's sole heir. Disappointed and hurt by this exile from the only home she has known for many years, Hagar wanders off into the desert and is heard to mutter over and over again, "I'll never fall in love again." What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble. That's what you get for all your trouble. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. What do you get when you kiss a guy? You get enough germs to catch pneumonia. After you do, he'll never phone you. I'll never fall in love again. Don't you know I'll never fall in love again? Don't tell me what it's all about, 'cause I've been there and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is why I'm here to remind you, what do you get when you need a guy? You get enough beers to fill an ocean. That's what you get for your devotion. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. What do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow, I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. Thank you. Chapter 5. Rebecca makes a big decision. Years later, Abraham sends his trusted servant Eliezer back to his homeland to find a wife for his son Isaac. He meets Rebecca, a lovely young woman who offers him water to drink for himself and his animals. This was the sign he had been waiting for, proof that this young woman was meant to be Isaac's bride. She turns out to be the daughter of Abraham's nephew, a perfect match, all in the family. Her family is horrified that she would consider leaving them to marry a man she had never met and to live in a place so far from them. But Rebecca is intrigued by the idea of marrying Isaac. And she has a bit of an adventurous spirit. After all, she had defied convention by approaching Eliezer with the water. Don't worry, she reassures them. I'm sure that he is a wonderful guy. I expect every one of my crowd to make fun of my proud protestations of faith in romance. And they'll say I'm naive as a babe to believe any fable I hear from a person in pants. Fearlessly I'll face them and argue their doubts away. Boldly I'll sing about flowers and spring. Flatly I'll stand on my own two flat feet and say, love is a grand and a beautiful thing. I'm not ashamed to reveal the world famous feeling I feel corny as Kansas in August. I'm as normal as blueberry pie. No more a smart little girl with no heart. I have found me a wonderful guy. I am in a conventional dither with a conventional star in my eye. And you will note there's a lump in my throat when I speak of that wonderful guy. I'm as trite and as gay as a daisy in May, a cliche coming true. I'm romantic and bright as the moon, happy night pouring light on the dew. I'm as corny as Kansas in August, high as a flag on the 4th of July. If you'll excuse an expression I use, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with the wonderful guy. I'm seeing in the chat that are some people having some
It was fixed, so I don't know what happens. One of the songs was, but it's good for now, so I'll let you know.
Okay, very good. All right, because you just never know. All right. Chapter 6, Joseph has something to say to Pharaoh. One generation later, Jacob has sibling rivalry problems with his children. 12 sons are a handful, but one in particular arouses the ire of the other 11, and it doesn't help that Jacob seems to favor this child over all the others. To make matters worse, it seems that Joseph keeps having dreams where 11 of one thing or another pay homage to a 12th, which just always happens to stand for Joseph. The 11 brothers conspire to get rid of the troublesome Joseph by selling him to a band of Ishmaelite travelers. They in turn sell him to Potiphar, a trusted member of the Pharaoh's household. Joseph himself becomes a trusted servant in Potiphar's household, which is fine until he is noticed by Potiphar's wife, who has a different kind of household responsibility in mind. Joseph rejects her advances, and this, not surprisingly, lands him in jail. While in jail, he becomes known for his ability to interpret dreams, which seems pretty insignificant. I mean, whatever, prisoner interprets dreams, big deal. Aha! Until Pharaoh has some very strange dreams. Fat cows, skinny cows, what does it all mean? No one can make head or tails of these dreams until Pharaoh's butler remembers Joseph's ability. Joseph is brought before Pharaoh, who tells him what he had dreamt. No problem, Pharaoh, says Joseph. Put on a happy face. Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You'll look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook. Stick out that noble chin. Wipe off that full of doubt look. Slap on a happy grin. And spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face. Eyes are clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You'll look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook. Stick out that noble chin or chins. Wipe off that full of doubt look. Slap on a happy grin. And spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face. Chapter 7. Pharaoh has some words for Moses. 400 years later, a new Pharaoh has come to power, and the memory of Joseph's important service is a distant memory, if that. The Israelites have been enslaved, and their lives are filled with misery and oppression. Pharaoh's adopted son Moses turns out to be the one who will channel God's redemptive power, but it won't be easy. Moses and Aaron approach Pharaoh to demand that he let the Israelites go, but Pharaoh's not having any of that. Now, 10 times Moses implores Pharaoh to let the Israelites go, and 9 times Pharaoh wavers before refusing Moses' demand. Finally, Pharaoh relents and agrees that the Israelites can go. But he can't imagine that the Israelites will fare any better in the desert. Go already, he says. You'll be back. You say, the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I'm gone. And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My loyal, royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back just like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise, and I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad. So don't throw away this thing we had. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Everybody. Da da da
I think your sound just faded in and out a little bit.
Oh, I wonder what we need to do about that.
I have no idea because it just came on last time perfectly, so I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going and maybe I'll just go in and out singing loud and soft. I'm not sure what to do. I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So for those who are having trouble, I apologize, but I wish I knew what to do.
I'm not sure, so
Okay.
I think it will come back in a second. So
Okay, all right. Am am I not being heard as I'm talking? Maybe not.
Do you have can you plug your microphone in, or do you have a microphone?
Actually, I'm using my microphone, but it seemed to.
Not sure.
Oh.
Someone said that I should sing.
Absolutely. There we go.
Oh yes, Sylvia Cohen has heard me sing beautifully, so.
Oh no.
It's bad. I can sing quietly, so, but I think we'll come back in a second, hopefully.
All right. Well.
Maybe I'll mute you and then unmute. Maybe unmute yourself, and then you unmute, come back on. Maybe.
Okay, because I didn't change anything.
I know. So.
All right.
All right.
All right. Is this any better?
Same. So I think we'll come back if you sing a little bit more.
Okay. You know what? I'll act out all the songs as well. I'll do interpretive dance. How's that? Trust me. I don't think it's a good idea. But I don't know. I'll see what I can do. Okay. Here I go. But if nobody's hearing anything, do let me know. And I'm not sure what we'll do, but I'll try to do something. Chapter 8. Kvetch, kvetch, kvetch. Oh, thank you, Dina. Dina hears me talking. Hopefully Dina's going to hear me singing. It all came to pass. Redemption by God, accompanied by the most extraordinary pleasure.
Oh my God, we just, you're working.
What?
We hear you.
Yay! It's a nace. It's a pre-Hanukkah miracle. Should I start that chapter over? Sure, why not? Okay. Kvetch, kvetch, kvetch. Oh, good. Ed's not having any trouble. So Ed can then call everybody and tell what I sang. It all came to pass. Redemption by God, accompanied by the most extraordinary plagues and a miraculous parting of the waters. Signs and wonders and marvels of all kinds all around them. And what do the Israelites do? They kvetch. They kvetch. As soon as they turn their back on Mount Sinai, they begin to complain. Are we there yet? I'm bored. This manna is so disgusting. Hey, remember that great food we had back in Egypt? Remember those leeks, the onions, the garlic? Yum! Hey, who is this Moses anyway? Let's turn around and go back home. With rather faulty memories of slavery and growling stomachs that demanded their total attention, all these former slaves wanted to be was warm and fed. Well, actually, in their case, probably cool and fed. Ah, Egypt, they remember. Wouldn't it be lovely? Chocolate for me to eat, lots of coal making lots of heat, warm face, warm hands, warm feet, oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, so lovely, sitting absolutely still. I would never budge till spring crept over me windowsill. Someone's head resting on my knee, warm and tender as he can be, who takes good care of me. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, so lovely, sitting absolutely still. I would never budge till spring crept over me windowsill. Someone's head resting on my knee, Chapter 9, the big heart of the world's oldest profession. 40 long years have passed and the Israelites have finally entered the land of Canaan. Joshua still has a lot of work to do before the people can feel settled in their new land. He sends 2 spies to Jericho to check out the fortifications of the city. Unfortunately, the spies' presence is detected, and before they know it, the king has sent guards to find them. They take refuge in the home of a local prostitute named Rabbi. To their astonishment, she not only hides the spies, but lies to the Canaanites, her own people, who come looking for them. The spies are so surprised that she was willing to help them. Oh, she says, I know that your God is very powerful. And besides, I can't say no. It ain't so much a question of not knowing what to do. I know what's right and wrong since I've been 10. I heard a lot of stories and I reckon they're true about how girls are put upon by men. I know I mustn't fall into the pit, but when I'm with a feller, I forget. I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. I always say, come on, let's go, just when I ought to say nix. When a person tries to kiss a girl, I know she ought to give his face a slap. But as soon as someone kisses me, I somehow sort of want to kiss him back. I'm just a fool when lights are low. I can't be prissy and quaint. I ain't the type that can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't say no. What you gonna do when a feller starts flirty and starts to talk purty? What you gonna do? Supposing that he says that your lips are like cherries or roses or berries. What you gonna do? Supposing that he says that you're sweeter than cream and he's gotta have cream or dye. What you gonna do when he talks that way? Spit in his eye. I'm just a girl who can't say no, can't seem to say it at all. I hate to disappoint a beau when he is paying a call. For a while I act ripped and cool, just sitting on the velveteen settee. Then I think of that old golden rule and do for him what he would like to do for me. I can't resist a Romeo in a sombrero and chaps. Soon as I sit on their laps, something inside of me snaps. I can't say no. Thanks. Chapter 10. Oi, that King David, moving way ahead. Following the death of Goliath, that notorious Philistine giant, the young shepherd David is acclaimed as a hero of the Israelite people. Not surprisingly, King Saul offers the young warrior the hand of his oldest daughter, Michal, in marriage. Strange connection, but I won't go there. The 2 young people love each other, and David joyfully accepts. Unfortunately, David has a roving eye, and Michal has an observant one. Nonetheless, she loves her husband dearly and wants him back each time he strays. When her friends ask why she puts up with his outrageous behavior, she turns to them and sheepishly replies, "Can't help loving that man. and sister. I love my Mr. Man, and I can't tell you why. There must be some reason why I should love that man. It must be something that the angels done planned. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly. I gotta love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Tell me he's lazy, tell me he's slow, tell me I'm crazy, maybe I know. Can't help loving that man of mine. When he goes away, that's a rainy day. But when he comes back, the day is fine. The sun will shine. He can come home as late as can be. Home without him ain't no home to me. Can't help loving that man of mine. When he goes away, that's a rainy day. But when he comes back, the day is fine. He can come home as late as can be. Home without him ain't no home for me. Can't help loving that man of mine. Can't help loving that man of mine. Thank you. Chapter 11, Zorus. We turn now to the book of Job. Poor guy. He was one of God's great fans. Steadfast, devoted, loyal. He was subjected to a great test of faith. All his family and possessions, everything he had ever known, taken from him. You would think that he would curse God for his tragic faith, but no way. His friends implore him to give up, to abandon his faith in God, but he refuses to give up. I guess I'm just a cockeyed optimist. When the skies are bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done for and might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling grow and appear more intelligent and smart. But I'm stuck like a duck with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Chapter 12. Esther, who? Well, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, the Purim story was all about heroic Queen Esther who saved her people when Haman tried to kill us. Yeah. There was that first chapter which set the stage for Esther to become queen, but whoever paid attention to the king's first wife? Well, Vashti has become a heroine of the story as well. And why is this so? When Achashverosh summons his wife to dance at one of his infamous soirees, there was no question as to her answer. Are you kidding? She is reported to have said, I won't dance. So there. Oh, wrong song. Oh, no, that's right. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, monsieur, with you. My heart won't let my feet do things they should do. You know what? You're lovely, but so what? I'm lovely, but oh, what you do to me. I'm like an ocean wave that bumped on the shore. I feel so absolutely stumped on the floor. When you dance, you're charming and you're gentle, especially when you do the continental. But this feeling isn't purely mental. For heaven rest us, I'm not asbestos, and that's why I won't dance. Why should I? I won't dance. How could I won't dance. Merci beaucoup. I know that music leads the way to romance. So if I hold you in my arms, I won't dance. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, monsieur, with you. My heart won't let my feet do things they should do. You know what? You're lovely, but so what? I'm lovely, but oh, what you do to me. I'm like an ocean wave that's bumped on the shore. I feel so absolutely stumped on the floor. When you dance, you're charming and you're gentle, especially when you do the continental. But this feeling isn't purely mental. For heaven rest us, I'm not asbestos, and that's why I won't dance. Why should I? I won't dance. How could I? I won't dance. Merci beaucoup. I know that music leads the way to romance, and if you hold me in your arms, I won't dance. In the days, chapter 13, a day in the life. In the days of the temple, the Levites had great responsibility for the care of our most sacred spaces. In a world that favored sacrificial offerings almost every day, that meant a whole lot of entails to deal with, altars to clean up, and a constant parade of sacred garments that had to be changed from task to task. Most days, their work gave them great honor and a sense of supreme supreme satisfaction. But other days, it was kind of tedious and not such a big thrill. Or, as one Levite was reported to have said to another, "Hey, here we go. Another opening, another show." Another opening, another show in Philly, Boston, or Baltimore. A chance for stage folks to say hello. Another opening of another show. Another job that you hope will last. Will make your future forget your past. Another pain where the ulcers grow. Another opening of another show. 4 weeks you rehearse and rehearse. 3 weeks and it couldn't get worse. 1 week, will it ever be right? Then out of the hat, it's that big first night. The overture is about to start. You cross your fingers and hold your heart. It's curtain time and away we go. Another opening of another show. 4 weeks you rehearse and rehearse. 3 weeks and it couldn't be worse. 1 week, will it ever be right? Then out of the hat, it's that big first night. Overture is about to start. You cross your fingers and hold your heart. It's curtain time and away we go. Another opening, just another open of another show. Dear friends, we are coming to the very end, at least of this version of Broadway Bible. And so before I leave you with the, what I'm going to call the Nechemta, because every sermon has final words of comfort or a learning that send you off into the day or the night. And so Broadway Bible should not be any different. But allow me to thank you so much for having me with you at Temple Emanu-El, even virtually. I feel that very strong connection, and I'm so grateful to Rabbi Krosnit for making this happen. What I didn't mention at the beginning is that now that I have retired from Chevra and I'm the Rabbi Emerita with two of the loveliest rabbis in the universe as my successors, two people I adore, so that if you find yourself in the Berkshires, do visit Chevra. But I have been doing cabaret in New York and did my first show 2 years ago, and had the pandemic not taken over our lives, I would have premiered my next show, which will now take place sometime in 2021. And I hope perhaps you'll travel from Westfield to Manhattan to see it. It's called Jewish Caroling, the music of Carole King, Carol Bayer Sager, and Carolyn Lee. And I'm so delighted with the show and so eager to share it with audiences. But in the meantime, how lucky I am to have this great opportunity to be with you here tonight. So thank you all. And I just want to say, be careful, be healthy, be safe. Just, you are each precious to so many people. So anyway, here's a little bit of Nechemta to take you off into the night. All right, a little summation. Here we go. Everything that God had to say was written for the page. What if God could sing? What if God could dance? What if it was written for the stage? The sage, whom the prophets engaged to proclaim their behavior's a shame, 'cause the folk think mitzvot are a joke. That's Broadway Bible. The king with his scepter and ring and his queen, for whom nothing's serene, and their slave who is acting quite brave. That's Broadway Bible. Let's go back to the days of the wandering Jews. with nothing to do. Eating manna made them quite blue. If they'd sung from South Pacific, they would have felt terrific. When the Jews were upset and depressed, if they could go backstage and get dressed up for shows, anything goes. That's Broadway Bible. Abraham said to Sarah, his wife, honey, this is no kind of life to stab our son with a knife. She said, don't think so shady. Let's sing from My Fair Lady. The ones who were chosen by God seem quite odd for such a big job, but in fact, there was nothing they lacked. The Bible's the text. I did the rest, the Broadway Bible. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Rabbi Zecher. We are so thrilled that we got to spend this evening with you. I noticed, though, you skipped over the part of the Torah about like leprosy and skin diseases.
Oh, I had to save something for round 2.
Round 2, oh, okay. But so thank you. I saw lots of singing in our squares, and hope that we can bring you to Westfield so that we can sing with you in the near future as well. But Rabbi Zecher, thank you so much. And you got and lots of bravos in the chat box. You can unmute yourself as well. I know you have a former congregant here with Naomi Gelfand, a backup singer in the choir with you. And just thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Be safe, and look forward to being with you at other times throughout the week to celebrate Hanukkah.
Thank you. Chag Sameach, everybody.
Sameach. Have a great night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.